And good evening, everyone. Thanks all for tuning into Odyssey of Ascension. I am Roxanne, here at Odyssey of Ascension, your host, where we discuss the ideas of being gods, eternal creators, and understanding our journey here as a separated being, not remembering our gestalt, our endless history, our infinity of existence, and we try to navigate our way through. And that's what I named today's. As a reminder, guys, when you pop on in, you're more than welcome to say hi in the chat. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider. So I named this one, Pay Attention in the Now. Because the now will tell you a lot of things. Now remember, as a human society, as humanity teaches the law of purpose and pursuit, achievement, gratification through hard work, gain. So the mind is structured for that. Think about it, an entire lifetime of you're in first grade, you got to learn, you got to get good, because you got to graduate to get to second grade. In second grade, you got to get to third grade. In third grade, you got to get, and you keep going to the next thing. And you never really pay attention to the now. And that's costly. And I didn't know how it was costly, and I never understood it because I lived like everybody else. Planning for tomorrow, safety and security, saving money, which I never did anyway. But, you know, a lot of people do this, retirement, what if we have insurance because of what ifs, you know, lots of reasons to live outside of the now, to live your life as in the future, and based upon the past dictates your behavior. Welcome, Carrie. Thank you so much. Hi, darling. Dictates your behavior, your choices, the way you interact with reality through your memory of this experience. Says, I don't want to do that again. I'll avoid this, or they said this, and you read and you get other opinions and you form your life and you live a splendid idea of a human incarnation. But as we awaken and start to remember our internal selves, that we are more than just this expression of flesh and blood, that we are actually eternal consciousness, and we have a vast gestalt of intelligence within us. And we can access that through the now. We can't access it through our memory. Your memory is a conglomeration of experiences, and you draw and behave off of that, right? You think about it, and you think about it through your memory. You also have intuition, though, at the same time. And that's where discernment comes in. And you have to start taking chances on yourself and start following your intuition so you can develop that. But what the now does for you, it takes you away from the memory and the castings of the future through the past, and it allows you to see and observe and feel, remember that word, feel the presence of your existence, leading to many different idea revelations. How do we relate to reality today? In the physical reality, we relate to reality through our physical senses, right? We experience gravity. We experience wind, hot, cold. We experience weight, touch, taste, smell. We have our senses that indicate, hey, you're in a physical reality. It's a three-dimensional reality. You have an element of time. It gets day, it gets night, it gets seasons. The years pass. You grow older. There's decay in your body. There's decay of things in the world. Things get old. So it's all validated. It's all validated. So it looks very much like time is valid, and all of these things are valid with the idea of how we experience our reality, how we take it in through our senses, right? But I'm going to tell you, and this is a knowing that I've discovered and through my work, that we have many, 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 many other senses available to us right here, right now, without being taught, because they're innate, without being gifted these things. Okay? They're built in. So someone that has this ability and you don't, they're not special. They just tapped into it. Doesn't mean you can't have it, because no one is unequal, because there's only one creator and it's you, and you are all abilities, all things. All things are encompassed within you. Okay? So we have this idea that our senses dictate life, and it gives us behavioral ideas. Oh, we got traffic, let's find a shortcut. Let's change our reality, because we sense the idea of waiting, discouragement, and the experience of sitting in traffic, and you're not entertained, or you want to do something, it's a waste of time. So we make all of these decisions based on how we relate to reality. But your other senses are trying to tell you things, but we don't hear them because we never developed them, because we weren't supposed to develop them, because we forgot we had them. And then everything again told us, here's how you relate to reality: through your senses, through fear, through precaution, because the world is a bad place. It's not cherries, lollipops, and rainbows. It's a horrible place. And it is. It's disgustingly horrible what we do to each other as humans. The only thing humans are really, really good at is killing. We've mastered that. We haven't learned how to embrace the now. We haven't learned how to develop our skills as representation of possibility. Through ego and separation, we divide it. I get it. We have different skin colors. We have different cultural belief systems. We have structures, and other people find change. No, that's not good. You are a savage, so I'm going to kill you. So we kill people we don't like, right? The one that's the most violent and has the biggest guns or the biggest army. You know your history, obviously. So what do, right? What does the now represent? What does it offer? Well, I can tell you what it offers. It offers an infinite number of experiences that you can't see, touch, taste, or feel with your touch, taste, feel, smell, and see. Hear. Thank you. Okay? But you have hearing, but you don't have your physical hearing. You have a different kind of hearing. You have an internal sound. You have an internal hearing. You have internal eyes. You have third eye. You have your insight, your internal sight, right? You have your telepathy. You have your telepathy. You have your abilities, your projections, your teleportation skills. You have all these inside of you, but you don't develop them because A, you're not interested, or no one introduced the material. Unless you're watching this now, then hey, guess what? Now here's a possibility. So here's what you can get in the now. The first thing that I noticed by paying attention to the now, and it takes a degree of discipline to monitor your mind and not get caught up in the emotions about something that's not happening now. I know it feels good about talking about particular things. I know it feels instructional or responsible to make sure, and you do these postures, and that's not wrong, but it's how you create your world. And you maintain that because you think, if I don't, failure, catastrophe, dread, something might go wrong, whatever. But you behave the same way. But if you start paying attention to the now and living in the now, then your senses start to tell you things about the now. Every single person that's about to die knows that they're about to die. But 99% of them don't feel why they're going to die. They may feel something, but they don't pay attention because their mind supersedes them and says, oh, you're just this or you're just that. Okay? Flight 800. All the people that got on Flight 800 and that thing blew up to, I don't know, a couple minutes after it took off. Everybody knew. Everybody knew inside. Not up here in Fractal Land. Fractal Land, most of them were oblivious. But a few of them knew, and a few of them decided to change and not follow through this. Everyone knows that. That's a sense that you have. You have a particular sense inside of you that will tell you things about your now. All of you have walked into a room and you can feel the room before you scan the room and assess the room. You can feel the energy of the room. Most people don't like that though. They don't discount it, or they just say, oh, it's a parlor trick, or it's not real, it's make believe. People are amazing at fighting for their limitations, fighting for their less than, their unworthiness. They'll stick up a fight because they don't deserve these things without earning them, or without some authority coming along and say, here you go, here's something cool for you, and you can get this all on your own. So the now start teaching me I was observing the now with my sight and started seeing messages, little tiny things that would apply to what I was thinking in the moment. Because remember, the now is perfectly still. It doesn't move. So when my collective whole, Sylvester, sets up a message for me, I'm not going to miss it. It's going to be in the now, and it's going to be aligned with what I'm thinking at the time, because I'm the same being, so I can set things up, because the now doesn't move. The now is perfectly still. I move through it through time. So we have so much time. Just know that. So take your time. Slow down and observe. You get these little things. You might not see them, or you might be looking too hard at the beginning, but if you release and allow and don't expect and just observe through humility, release, allow, don't expect, just observe through humility. Just relax. Go about your business every day, and then you'll start seeing things that start to align. That's you communicating with you, okay? Telling you ideas. If you're thinking about something that you want to do, something that you want to buy, or some decision about maybe I want to do this, or maybe I want to do that, you'll get the answer, but you have to be in the now to do it. Because if you're cluttered up thinking, you're not in the now, you're outside of the now, and you're going to miss it, because that's where it lives. All the messages live now. They don't live in the future or in the past where your mind is. Your mind is thinking about something that's not happening now. Otherwise, if it's happening now, you're not thinking about it, right? Because when you're in the now, there is no thinking. There's being, there's experiencing, there's engaging, but there's no thinking. Not in the way humans think about things, okay? So think about that for a little bit, right? Muse on that, ponder on, if I'm allowing the now, what can I understand about my reality? And you're not going to get messages every day, but you will start to get little tiny things. Numbers are huge for me. I love the numbers. 111, 222, on to 999, and of course, triple zeros. Sometimes you get quad numbers. And they're all interpreted my way, right? I decided what they meant. Sly accompanied him with say, okay, if you want this message right here, if I'm going to get a message to Roxanne, I'm going to do it with these numbers, because that'll align with her thoughts. So he gives me a 333, or he gives me a 144, or he gives me a 888, or he gives me a 666. And then that aligns with my moment, what I'm pondering, what I'm experiencing, what I'm moving through, right? So it's validation, it's confirmation, it's yes or no. Roxanne, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Sun flame beeswax candles. Hi, darling. Much love and light to you. So I always get those messages. There was a thing. I've been a nice person all my life because I was taught to be nice. The Bible said to be nice. When I was raised under the Orthodox idea, and then whatever was in fashion with my parents at some different times. We change religions sometimes. So anyways, be nice. Well, I tried. And the world mistakes stupidity. They think you're stupid when you're kind. They do. You get more respect being an asshole. You do. You get, oh, they're nice, they're nice. But when it comes down to the idea, most people will save their own ass over you, right? And that's the expense of your niceness. They'll save their skin. They'll do what is best for them. And even though you've been nice to them, sometimes they don't reciprocate that nicety. And I had expectations, and that was my issue. So I'm still nice. Oh, yes. But I learned a different language. I learned to set my boundaries with tone, inflection, and certainty that would allow people to understand, hi, you can't fuck with me. I'm a nice person, I'm intelligent, and you can't take advantage of me. That's the message I send through language. So I experienced that and I started seeing how I was nice, and I was like, I'm tired of it. So I'm at HEB, the greatest grocery store in the world, by the way. So if you're ever in Texas, find yourself a nice HEB Plus and go and check it out. So I'm at HEB. I do my groceries. We drove down to Willis and went to the big HEB because they have a deli and some different ideas and just a more fruitful store, a more high-rated store than the smaller one they have. It's still great up here, but they have more stuff there. So we go down there, right? It's an hour drive. So we're driving down there, we're doing our shopping, and we're getting to leave. And as soon as I back up, I'm thinking about how someone is trying to take advantage of me because I'm nice. And they think I'm stupid. And they talk to me like I'm a child. I'm fucking 60 years old, 59 years old, rather. Just turned 59. I am not a child, and I won't be treated. But I let myself get treated like a child. So I can't blame people for that. Because I was nice. I wasn't this other language that I learned. And as soon as I was thinking about that, there was a sticker on the back of a car, back of a truck. And it said, be a lion, not a sheep. And I was like, fucking A. Exactly what I'm thinking about that. Sly got me the message. Be a lion, Roxy, not a sheep. Okay? You don't have to go out and kill everybody. You don't have to go and eat your young. I get that. But what you have to do is have a presence about you that lets people know that, listen, I am, and I am not going to be fucked with. And that's what the now gave me. It gave me a validation of my own process of changing myself into a person that allows myself, I can still be nice, I can still be friendly, I can still be giving, but I have to be a lot more discerning with my skill set of this on who I'm going to give myself to, because the world is hungry for things. They're very, very greedy. The world is very greedy. Corporations are greedy. All we're doing is marketing ourselves. I remember in the 90s, right? I remember in the 90s, you used to go to Walmart and they had a happy face on the back. And there was game rooms and kids were playing. There was McDonald's and there were families and people dressed respectably, you know? And now you go to Walmart and it's a fucking circus show. And everyone there is business. And everyone there is marketing. And everything is about your goddamn dollars. That's it. Everything is about your money. This whole society has taken greed and made it its god, right? Gain is all it is. And who pays? Humans. We're the sheep. Don't make no mistake about it. The governments let corporations dictate. And now the corporations run us. We have the biggest drug cartel in America. And it isn't one that's dealing cocaine and heroin. It's one that's dealing prescription drugs. So you can see the world is a structure of a certainty. right? Just like at the beginning of the Dark Ages. What did we do? We had a great society of money with no morals. And I'm not talking about the God morals. I'm talking about respecting each other, working in the idea or living with the idea of respect of one another. People go freaking out. You got people on YouTube fucking with people just to play pranks on them, just for the hell of it, to get some views at the expense of people's good nature. So we've lost our morality. Don't bullshit me about your Christianity and all this good stuff. Bullshit. That's not what we're talking. That ain't happening. But the internal idea of respect and living in a civilization is gone. It is a tragedy. It's about money. It's about status. It's about power. And that's not right or wrong. This is humanity's waking up. Great, great. I get that. But I'm in my own world and I know what to do with humanity. I understand that now. And the now was telling me where to go and how to discern and where to navigate my reality through the senses of not my predictability of physicality senses or my predictability of the memory taking precautions on how to behave. I wiped that shit out. And now I flow and I live in the now and I trust the now. And I also have developed intuition. Sometimes I get into debates. What do I do? I have this opportunity. What do I want to do now? I don't like this. This didn't sit with me well. What do I do about it? And I started to learn my own intuition. Don't worry about fucking it up. Don't worry about getting it wrong. Don't worry about that because that's a distraction. That's doubt. We talked about doubt last week. Be certain and take chances to develop these internal skills. Okay? We can do that. Gotta love the Shadow McGovern from Carrie. And Sun says, the saddest part is we, the human, gave them all that power and being lazy and not wanting to do the work ourselves. Of course. Absolutely. And that, I think that's part of the awakening. We, the government for the people, are supposed to run, but the government is running us. They give us the legislation. They give us the laws. They enforce the laws. We have to abide or we get violent, or we are the recipients of violence, whether it's through taxes, fines, jail time, or just getting shot because you don't look like the right person for them. You know, and it's an amazing society, but let's not fix society. Ascending masters represent possibility. So I'm learning the skill sets to represent a reality. I don't fear my loss of life. I don't fear loss. I don't fear, poverty. I don't fear those things. I know I got my whole self that's got my back that says, you're going to be fine with all of your necessities. They might not be the greatest ideas of what your ego wants, but you will have everything you need as you journey through this life. And it's never failed me in the last 13 years. Okay? So what do you do? What do? You represent. You learn the skill sets of a God. You navigate reality. You have a divine nonchalance. Your divinity, you feel full of light, and you're absolutely relaxed. You don't need to get excited. You can get excited emotionally, but you can't be frantic like that. You know, I'm still a fire sign, so I get loud and boisterous and stuff like that, but I'm not nuts about it. You know, I'm passionate. I'm alive. That's who I am by nature. But I am simple and divine in that idea. I'm very relaxed about my life. You get stressed, you get upset. Yeah, you transcend those emotions. You do those things. But the now is going to offer you a ton of stuff. If you haven't read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of the Now, it's got some valuable information. Seth has got some valuable information about the now. I've got videos on my YouTube channel, 800 videos. I think there's like 4 or 5. I've still got the cough. Hang on. I get about 4 or 5 videos on the different aspects of the now, right? The water, sun, and the fire, moon. I'm water, sun, and fire, moon. Very good. So you can look at the idea of the now and start to see more than you can ever see. intuition, telepathic intuition. Don't you know that this is a holodeck projected and that all of this is being interpreted by electronic impulses? But you feel and hear these ideas and it seems solid, and it is solid to your senses as an experience, but it's a light show. And it's all done telepathically. We co-create telepathically, we project telepathically, we perceive telepathically. Your telepathic skills are 100%, never diminished. They're the best. There can't be any better. You just have to release yourself from time to allow yourself to grow familiar with it and trust that intuition and trust the different thought timeline that comes in, or not timeline, but the different, let's say if you're thinking about this and then you get this input over here that seems very different, you're like, wow, where did that come from? That's your intuition. That's your other part of you. That's your telepathic connection. That's what you have to develop. Yes, got the apple cider vinegar. I went to HEB today and I forgot it. I got it. I'm okay. You know what? I'm going to write it down. I tried it one time, but it wasn't for that. I didn't write it down. I got it down now. How much do you take? To what? Tell me what you take. How much you drink or something, okay? Geez. So anyways, the telepathy idea is it's not eavesdropping and you're not invading on privacy, okay? Tablespoon if I'm sick, thank you. You're not invading on someone. You're not going to be intentionally reading people's mind, but you are definitely going to start feeling impressions of people around you. You can start to know what they're thinking. You can feel it. You can interpret it because you are in telepathic communication with them. So their whole collective and your whole collective already know everything about the now in the now. And then you can understand that. Another thing that happens in the now quite frequently is the deja vu experience. The more developed you get, you're going to get more deja vus. But you're not actually having deja vu. If I'm a whole self and I create everything in my now, how can I not know it? The fractal lives through time, so it catches up to the now and it experiences things as it moves through time. But once you're aligned in the now, then you know what you as a whole are creating already because you're in that now, aligned with yourself. So that's why it feels like deja vu. It's not deja vu. You're perfectly aligned with yourself. You're perfectly aligned. I was playing a video game, Sniper Elite. I don't know which one, not Sniper Elite 5. I'm the next one with Harry Hawthorne. Anyways, so I'm playing Sniper Elite and I loaded up the game after playing yesterday and I was going back and getting collectibles. I loaded up the game and as soon as I got in the game, I was like, wait a minute, I just played this one yesterday. And then I looked at it, I was like, see, there's two. The other one had two. But I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, I know all this. So I just went along with it and instead of trying to figure it out to make it make sense, fuck that. Fuck trying to figure it out and make it sense. I just went along with it and I realized about 45 minutes into playing it, I knew everything about it, knew where to go, knew where all the collectibles were that I usually have to look up, and then realized I was in a new DLC part of the game. I was in a new section of the game, but I was so aligned in the now, it felt like I already did it. How cool is that? You would have everything you know as you know it in the now. So you're never uneducated. You're never guessing. You're never uncertain because you're aligned. And that is the best gift. It is trippy, Carrie. It is trippy. But it works and it's valid. So why do you as the fractal have experienced enough to move through time. Have you not? You've been moving through time, catching up with the now. But now when you live in the now, which is the only thing, the law is everything is here and now. You know, everything is here and now. Son says, makes sense. Yeah, that's funny. Fuck that makes sense. The make sense. Yes. Yeah, forget making it to make sense. Don't try to figure it out because that takes away the magic. Live, slip endlessly in the now, flow. And all of these skill sets will start to make themselves known. You grow in familiarity with it, you know? Yes, you just got to roll with it. There's another great thing with the now. The meditations that we taught in our classes, when Sly taught us and Osifius taught us one meditation about focusing and slipping into the now, where your thoughts are going and they pull you and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I get it. Wait a minute. I need to get back to the now. Stay here. I don't need to be anywhere else. Your focus stays. And then in that now, you start to feel reality move through you. You have all of these thoughts, but now you don't get your thinking thoughts, your earthly thoughts. Now you get other thoughts. You get other selves because you're a multidimensional selves with probably 500,000 incarnations going on right now all together at the same fucking time. And now you start to access these ideas. You start to get these perceptions. You start to get these images. You start to get these feelings when you're in that meditation state. And it's kind of freaky because you don't know where you're at. And then you're like, oh my gosh. And the coolest thing is for me, staying now, it's the easiest, hardest part. I know, right? And what's so cool is like sometimes what happens to me a lot is when I'm doing the meditation, I'm deep into it. Sometimes I just move back out and I'm like, I'm biting some food and I can feel the food in my mouth, but there's no food in my mouth. And I'm like chewing, or I'm picking something up and then I come back to this life and I'm like, where is it? And so you can feel yourself in your other incarnations, your other selves. You start to connect in these multidimensional ways. And it's freaky for the mind. It's freaky for the mind. But you don't try to fix it. You don't label it. You don't claim it. You flow. Release the thinking, logical mind to explain reality. Look for cause and effect because that drains your energy with the compulsion of certainty, of logic, and humanly sense. Fuck that. Be magical. Be God. Be beyond human. And when you learn these skills, they'll develop. And you access them by being now. So practice on being now. Okay, when you catch yourself thinking, right? Okay, I'm thinking about that. Do I need to attend to that now? Does it need my attention now? Am I fearing it because I think something's going to happen? Yes. Okay, so let's not think about it. Let me slip back into the now. Let's be now. I got a show on. Let me pay attention to the show. Let me pay attention to the chore I'm doing. Let me focus in the now. You'll get better at it, but the thing is to work at it, to practice it. Do yourself a favor and develop yourself. Think about it. Think about this, okay? Let's say as your whole self, right? And we've done this before. Okay? My books with all kinds of pictures on them, right? We've done this before. You have a whole self. That's you, right? This is your whole self, your oversoul, whatever you want to call it. That's me. That's Sylvester, okay? So here's a portion of Sylvester. And that became Roxanne through 1,000 different names. So I started one time projecting this portion of Sly, and I started to realize my existence as a projection, and I would return home. But I got better and better at realizing my experience as I am. So maybe on my 5,000 incarnation, I woke up. So instead of investing in humanity, which you're very good at, and you've done it 1,000 times, and you have a whole bunch of fucking pain and happiness through the exalted idea of external validation, thinking that's, oh, look at that, I'm happy, I'm sad because of this and cause. And you mastered that. You're good at it. But what you're not good at is being a God. So how about investing in being a God on this incarnation? So maybe next time you don't have to come back. You die and you go back to the hole and you go, I think I'm good enough to project myself as an entity now. And now I get to say what I get to do. Because I'm now me as well as Sly is me. I was Sly. I was a portion of Sly. But now I'm realized. Maybe develop yourself and not have to be taken back. And you can go back into the hole and say, you know what? Maybe I'll project one more time and get better at it. A little bit better at it. Or you say, you know what? I'm ready to be an entity. I'm good enough. I'm realized enough. That's development. That's evolution. Evolution is not accomplishment on earth. Evolution is not the idea of degrees and bank accounts and views and success. That's human. And that's not wrong. You can still do that, but are you developing yourself? You can still have abundance. You can still be rich as fucking shit. You can still be successful and you can still be educated, but is your relationship right with you? Right? Yeah, we all have work to do. That's right, Carrie. But I invest in myself every day because I'm the only one living with me. And if I'm a train wreck, I feel like a train wreck. So I'm fixing the wreck up here by transcending the things of humanity and allowing God to return my eternal, innate self with all my abilities. So think about that, okay, guys? Think about those ideas. Ponder on them. Don't think and try to make up something and stuff like that. Just think about them, use them, ponder on them, feel them, and start to pay attention in the now for little tiny signs. Okay? Listen, let's see. I think it's time. Yes, we've been at it for 37 minutes. But I'm still further along than I've ever been. Absolutely. All of you are further along because you woke up. Congratulate yourself. I realize I am. I realize I'm more than this flesh and blood and what people define me as. I am an expression of all that is. I'm unjudged, untethered, raw, bundle of energy and awareness with free will. Booyah. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Listen, I love you. If you need anything, go to Odyssey of Ascension. The link is right there. You can contact me. And of course, you can donate if you like this, support the channel. All right, guys. You're welcome, Carrie. Thank you, son. Thank you for everyone out there that has tuned in, whether you're watching me live or later on. I appreciate you guys tuning in to my work. Journey well, masters. We'll see you in the next now. I love you all.